Hello there, YouTube. Now, being that I've just set everything up, and because I've had a few problems trying to set things up as well, can you just first of all confirm that you can hear me clearly? If you're able to hear me clearly, just say so in the chat, please. So I'll just type in here, can you hear me? Can you hear me? If you can, that'd be brilliant. The reason I'm just double checking is as I logged on, I got a message saying, update your software. And I thought, this is not the time to update my software. So I clicked on, no, do not update. Okay, I'll just keep talking because, you can hear me. Brilliant, excellent. I got a message saying, update your software. And I thought, no. If I update my software, I'll be about 15-20 minutes late. Now, first of all, this person here looks quite new, so hello there, Mr. Jacob. I'll call you Jacob rather than Paddington, although it appears as Paddington on my screen. And I'll just run over here and say hello to this person over here. Now, quickly just face the person, whoever it is, and I better just say, Moyen. And you might be saying, if you're just logged on and seeing us, you might be saying, why is he saying Moyen? What does that mean? I'll give a wave as well. Moyen. Now, that is the Luxembourgish for hello. And I was also told as well, you can say salute, which I'll say salute as well. And if you want to, you can say hello with an A in rather than E. Those are ways you can say hello to people in Luxembourg. So well done if you remember all of that. And by the way, in case you're wondering, I just Googled it beforehand. You can also say, hey. Now, in Great Britain, it's very rude to say hey to somebody when you speak with them as a greeting. You'd only use hey if you were going to stop a burglar. If for instance, a burglar was in your house, you would say, hey. Or if you walked down the street and you saw somebody with a brick in their hand about to throw it through a jeweler's window, you'd say, hey! But you wouldn't say hey to a person. So I'm not going to say hey when I greet people normally, because to me it sounds incredibly rude. Now this person here, I'll just do a bouncy bounce. Hello there. Now, you can see me. Excellent. All right, I'll quick bounce again. Bouncy bounce. And I'll give a wave as well. Quick wave and say Moyen. M-O-I-E-N. Whoops, do it again. Didn't click in the window. M-O-I-E-N. Moyen. And you might be saying, oh, it's cyberpiper. In that case, I shouldn't have bothered saying hello to him. In that case, I can move on and try and find somebody else in the game. Cyberpiper, why have you got such a noobish, is there such a word as noobish? Such a noobish avatar. Right, we'll start where the fire is. Well, there's a fire all over the place. There's a fire over here. This building has got a burning church. And there are 3 fires in the game. One behind the church, one in the gardens, and one outside the main city. I'm going to show you on the map where they can be found. There is one fire outside here. I know, because I placed it there. There's one fire here outside the main city. There's also one fire in the garden just here behind the church. Well, nearly behind the church, just here. And also I placed a fire in a hidden area, which is this area here you can't get to. Now, the only way you can get to this place here is if you put an umbrella on and jump over the buildings, and you'll find there's a secret, well, I should say courtyard. There's a courtyard, and I'm now telling you where my secret hidey hole is. That's somewhere I go if I want to hide up and I want to talk or do something in the game, but not get interrupted by people. So I hide in this area here. Yeah, it feels like a giant, doesn't it? And where's the other fire? Oh, that's right. There's one over here in the gardens. I placed one over here. Don't visit the factory. No, don't want that. And I placed a fire over here as well. Now, for those of you who are watching the live stream, Jacob would already know this now. He's We've been speaking on Discord. But if there's anybody else who's watching the live stream now, or if they are watching the live stream afterwards when it is recorded and uploaded onto YouTube, what's happening today is this. Cyberpiper, who we have now determined is this fellow over here, he's using his different account. Cyberpiper is doing a talk in Luxembourg. Now, he's got 2 talks. Oh, somebody else just dropped in. He's got 2 talks organised today, and he's doing a presentation in Luxembourg. It's no good saying hello yet because they're probably watching the tutorial. They're bouncing, so they must see me. I better just say moyen. He's doing a talk to a crowd in Luxembourg. Now, I've seen photographs of his presentation area. He's got a hall rented out, and he is doing a presentation in front of an audience, in front of a huge screen made up from 4 integrated large screened televisions placed 1, 2, 3, 4, like the dots on a die. Not in a row, but 2 in the top row and 2 in the bottom row, if you understand what I mean. And he's got that at one end of the hall on the stage, and he'll be on the stage in front of a crowd of people in Luxembourg promoting this game. So there may be people dropping in this game over the next half hour or so who may be playing it on their mobile phones playing it on their mobile phones in the auditorium rather than listening to Cyberpiper. Well, that's what sort of thing that what people do. They are told, hey, I'm now going to give you a talk about this brilliant game, and they're so keen to get involved that they'll sneak their mobile phones out and they'll probably visit the game as Cyberpiper is doing his talk. I'll say hello this time. I'll say it in Luxembourg with an A, Luxembourgish, hello, and a bouncy bounce just to let them know that I can see them, and I'll give them a wave as well. Now, everybody, you'll know what they look like. Everybody is dressed like a newbie because they've all got this bacon hair and all got like these freebie clothes on. So I reckon anybody from the talk, when they drop in the game, will be a bit like this. They'll have default hair, default outfit, and maybe a basic looking avatar. So if you want to know who these people are, they are more than likely visitors from Luxembourg who are either in Cyberpiper's talk or have been inspired to visit a game because I've seen it advertised around the city as part of these celebrations. I don't know if it's an event which is citywide, but it's obviously been advertised around the city. So there will be people visiting the game over the next half hour. Now, Cyberpiper has told me that there will be 2 sessions. One my time at 1 o'clock, and one my time at hello, this person here. Hello. Another one at 2:30. So I am going to do 2 live streams. I'm going to take a break halfway between the 2 live streams. Moyen. Oh, I missed that the O. Do it again. Moien. Moyen. Hello there. And the person's just logged off. Maybe they thought, these people crowding around me. I'm getting intimidated here. So I'll just run around. So I'm not actually going to swamp all those who visit the game, because actually at the moment, if you didn't realise this, I'll give you some news now. The game is actually being sponsored, and there's a sponsorship program for the next few days. Cyberpiper's got so much money. He's rolling in the money. He's got so much money, he says, in his account. He's just shoveled it all into a sponsorship deal. And so we've got the game sponsored for the next week. It's been actually sponsored for the last few days, so probably for the last few days and a few more days extra, so about a week's worth of sponsorship. And so if you've not noticed this, but the traffic has increased by about a factor of 10 over the last few days because of the sponsorship. And I don't know whether I should say this or not. I will do anyway. I'll probably get told off by Cyberpiper or by Lightning Line later on for saying, don't tell them this. But I have some good news as well. I've been in dialogue with the staff at Roblox about the Learn and Explore category, and I've been told that we have been confirmed that we will be on the Learn and Explore category within the next few days or so. And if you actually have access to the developer forums, you may see that Roblox are giving a plug to the Learn and Explore category, and just got confirmation last night. So last time we were on, our traffic increased by a factor of 100. We had about 2,000 people visiting per day, when normally we get about 20 people visiting each day. And actually today, our traffic, in case you're wondering, is about 200. So we've got about a tenfold increase today for traffic, but I suspect there'll be a few more people visiting later today, so hopefully our traffic will increase by more than 100 today. But over the next couple of weeks, when Roblox get the Look and Learn category finalised, we will then. Oh, I should say Learn and Explore. That's right, Learn and Explore. Thank you very much, Jacob, for correcting me. Learn and Explore category. When that is up and running within the next few, well, actually, Roblox tend to be a bit slow, so maybe over the next, rather than a week, over the next few weeks. Over the next few weeks, our traffic will go back to what it was, I reckon, the last time we were on the Learn and Explore category, which was about 2,000 per day. And if we can actually monopolize on that and entice people to stay, we might see hopefully a boost in overall traffic. And I think also having badges in the game means that when people do visit the game, those badges get stuck in their profile until they visit another game. Which means that all their friends say, "Oh, how do you get those amazing badges in your profile?" And rather than actually ask, what they do, they just click on the badge and visit the game. Well, that's what I do. And now, if you're on my friends list, you will now know that if you get a really good-looking badge on your profile, and I see it, I'll go and visit that game deliberately. So I can get the badge as well. And I think other people will do that as well. And so hopefully with more traffic in the game, when they gain badges, they will hopefully entice their friends to join the game too. And well done, by the way. Well done to Jacob for using the Luxembourgish spelling for hello. That's great. Make people feel welcome. Now I know that I am British, and I hope Jacob doesn't mind me saying so as well. I think Jacob's British as well. Us Brits are really bad at foreign languages, which is a badness of us. And I never learned a foreign language until I was 11 years old, which is French. So although I can speak French, bonjour. It's not appeared on my screen yet. It has in the chat window, but not over my head. Maybe because of lag. There it is. Bonjour. Although I can speak very basic French, I'm afraid us Brits are renowned for not speaking foreign languages. Yeah, you are British as well. I don't like to give any information out. I'm always very careful in case I give out private information of people. Ah, brilliant. We've got loads of people now logging in. And I must admit as well, I do like, hey, St. Nick. I'm going to quickly just click on that because I'm sure, hello there, hello. I'm sure it's one of our friends. Bonjour. And it's always polite, actually. I always respect people who make the attempt to learn a foreign language, even if it's just hello, how are you? I always think that people who make the attempt just to learn one or two words in a language deserve my respect. And so when people visit me, I've had people from foreign countries visiting me, and usually their English actually is brilliant. I've always been impressed by their good manners in using English. And by the way, because I'm just gossiping now, let me just gossip and chat with you. I'm a football coach, and our football team had invited a team over from Holland, Hoevelaken in Holland, to come over to us and play against us. Now, these people from Hoevelaken, they all speak Dutch. Dutch is obviously their first language. French they speak as well. Although I've been told that, hey, there's a bit of an issue here in Holland about people who speak French and Dutch mixing. All right, my live stream is lagged. But these people who came over from Hooverlarken, we went to a pub together, and they all sat at the same table. And I went over to sit with them because I thought, come to this country, I'll just sit over and just chat with them and make them feel welcome. And they were all speaking, all of them speaking in Dutch. But I thought I can use sign language because I sign British Sign Language, so I can use basic sign language as well as speaking as well as speaking English. I can speak sign language and French. But as soon as I sat down with them, every single person on that table stopped speaking Dutch and they all began to speak in English. And I said to them as well, I said, why do you speak in English when actually Dutch is your native tongue? And my friend told me it was solely because I'd actually sat on the table with them, and there's absolutely no way that they would continue speaking in Dutch when there's somebody who spoke English and couldn't join in conversation. And since then, I have had a profound respect for anybody who actually does that, because I know what it's like to be excluded from conversation when all those around you speak in a different language. So all respect to those who speak a different language deliberately to make others feel welcome, which is why I'm going to say Moyen. M-O-I-E-N. Moyen. Hello there. Hello, hello, hello. Now, everybody is going in the game. Now, where are they going? Because cyberpiper is giving a talk. I bet he's gone to church. That's where I would go. If I was to go to the game, I'd always go to the church. Yeah, look at that. I'd always go to the church first because the church is the most beautiful place to visit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just sort of wander about and add a bit of clutter to the screen. Okay, let's go for a ride. Oh, that's strange. This bike, oh, that's better. Maybe because of lag. The bike wasn't able to be rideable. There we are. Let's just cycle past. So those who are watching now, cyberpiper is probably delivering a talk, and he's probably just talking to the audience at the moment. So I'm going to cycle past. Cycle past. Well, cyberpiper is giving bump. I'm trying to avoid people. Sorry. Oh no! If I cycle past and add a bit of clutter, and I'll reverse in this alleyway here, it'll make the screen a bit more exciting when cyberpiper is talking to the audience. Now, can I turn around? It's very, very tight. Yes, I can. Somebody else has got the same sort of idea. Yeah, I'm going to avoid them by cycling round a corner. There we are. I'll avoid everybody. Moyen. I've been told actually. Right now, you're Dutch. I've been told to Is this correct now? When you're in Holland, you should be really careful about whether you speak Dutch or French because, or is that Belgium? The people I was told actually it's Holland, isn't it? Holland. People in Holland half speak French and half speak Dutch, and you can offend people if you speak the wrong language to the wrong group of people. But here we're in Luxembourg, so I haven't got to worry too much about that. Anyway, I'm going to try and cycle past Pitt on a bicycle without bumping into people. Whoops! Ouch! I'm not doing very well. This is actually really hard to steer. I reckon because they're all following him, what's happening, this is what my guess is. My guess is that he's talking to the audience. Oh, it's in Belgium. Right, thank you. That's in Belgium. You've got to be very careful. Be very careful about whether you speak in Dutch or French because of the 50-50 split between the people. Right, thank you very much. No, I think it's because cyberpiper is talking to the audience and he's probably asking people to follow him as he shows them around the city. I better get off the bicycle because I can't steer that very well, although it does look good. Oh, and ouch. Oh no, I know, I've just killed myself. I've fallen down a coal cellar. I jumped off the bicycle and straight down a coal cellar. Do watch out, by the way. Watch out. Do I visit a church? You bet I do. Here I am. Back in front of the church now. And just in case that lady there doesn't know where people are gone, I know what I'll do. I'll point. Here's my point there. Over there, they're over there. I'll do it again, just so she can see where everybody is. They're over there. Can she see, or is she just guessing where they all are? If I jump a few times as well, she might even follow me. This way, lady. I better just say hello as well. So it's Moyen. M-O-I-E-N. Moyen. Oh, someone's found my bike. And as you might confirm, that is so. Oh, that's of course, that's where the fire is. He wasn't meaning. When Cyberpiper said, "I'll meet you by the fire," I thought he meant the bonfires. And now I realise now he meant the house fire. We haven't got a fire brigade yet. Beforehand, this game was a replica of the game in Second Life. In Second Life, another platform, we had a fire brigade and we had the whole city. And I used to be in the fire brigade of the Faventile Fire Brigade. And that's actually the fire brigade pump, which has been transferred from the Second Life game. The mesh has been transferred from the Second Life game over to here. Brilliant pump. Oh, and by the way, actually, while I'm just talking, because I've been told, don't listen to Cyberpiper. He's talking in Luxembourgish, and apart from one word, I know no more. So I'm just going to talk, and I'm going to just ramble on. Oh, yes. Thank you very much. I wasn't... Yeah, thank you, Jacob. Better get something to drink. Get a drink. Otherwise, I'm going to die of thirst. Click 1. Click 2. And... wait a moment. Click 3. There, that's it. Brilliant. Oh, look at that. My thirst has not actually gone back up again. Now, that is really strange. Maybe it's just the game is lagging. We had some lag issues earlier on. Let's try again. Could be because of lag. Put the bottle on and drink 1. 1 glump. And again. 2nd glump. And click the 3rd time. Oh yes, my drink level, my thirst is going up now. Oh, brilliant. That must... Hey, that's something strange going on here. Because actually it's gone all the way from virtually 0 up to 100. And a drink, I thought, gave... oh no, that's right. That's right. The fountain gives... The water pump gives a percentage increase of 33 and 3%, whereas the bottle must give 100% thirst replenishment. So, while Cyberpiper is chatting, let's just talk about fire, health and safety in Victorian times. This, as you can see, is a hand-worked pump. Now, there's a water pistol attachment just here. It's that brown bit in, actually it's wood. That thing at the top, which looks like a water pistol, that's where the water squirts out from. And the water, obviously, is stored in the barrel. And what happens is you either have 1 or 2 people on both sides. That you can actually fit 1 or 2 people on this handle and 1 or 2 people on this handle here. And this is how it works. You go over to the end, you face the... Oh, you can fit 2 people on here. You face the pump. Jacob's got to go the other side, is he? You grab hold of the bar, and then this bar goes up and down, and the other side goes, as it pivots in the middle, goes in the opposite direction, which is attached to a pump in the side here, and that squirts the water out of this part here, which is like a water pistol that squirts onto the fire. However, you wouldn't put the fire out in Great Britain, this is. I'm not quite sure if it still applies in Luxembourg, but in Great Britain, you wouldn't put the fire out unless there was a metal plate screwed up in the wall on the outside of the building, called a fire plate. Now, this fire plate is something given to you by your insurance company. So if, for instance, you're insured by the Norwich Union, what you do is you put up a Norwich Union fire plate and you'd screw it into the wall. And so when Norwich Union staff came over, they'd think rather than pay insurance premiums for your house burning down, it's best that we put the fire out to save our insurance company some money. However, if there was a different fire plate on the wall, suppose I had a Norwich Union fire plate up here on the wall, and maybe another organisation came about, they would go straight past. They wouldn't put the fire out. They wouldn't put the fire out because you're not insured by their insurance company. And so if you look at old buildings, especially old buildings in Great Britain, and especially so true in cities, you might see a metallic plaque in the wall. Now they're usually painted to make them actually stand out so your house wouldn't burn down because you want people to see it. So they're usually painted and they are like a crest of arms because they're made to look really attractive and official. So you screw this metal plate on the outside your wall when you got it insured, which meant that when the fire brigade arrived, they'd know whether they could put your fire out or not. And if you were insured by their company, they'd put the fire out. And if you weren't, they wouldn't. They'd just go away. They wouldn't put the fire out. However, your neighbours would help, though, and your neighbours would get buckets, which is why there's a few buckets here, because in times of need, like, for instance, during the Great Fire of London and any other major fires in olden days, everybody would just pitch in and help. Whereas today, if you went across a burning building, you wouldn't initially think of actually helping. You'd think, oh, I'll phone the fire brigade. But in Victorian times and beforehand, you would get yourself a bucket from your house and you'd help your neighbour solely because you know they would help you if it was your house burning. And actually what happened in fires, like, for instance, I live on the south coast of Great Britain. I live very close to a small town called Southwold. And in the 1600s, the entire town burnt to the ground. Now, if you get a map now and look at pictures of Southwold, you'll see that all the buildings are Georgian. It hasn't got any pre-Georgian buildings. It's a gorgeous little town, by the way. It's one of the little gems off the east coast if you want to go somewhere on holiday. And the whole place just burnt down. Was insurance easy to counterfeit? Well, because it was metallic and they were screwed on the outside of the wall, it was actually quite difficult because you need to actually make a cast of the plate, and then you'd have to make a cast, mould it in metal, and screw it on the outside of the wall and paint it in the right colours. And as far as I know, I have never ever heard of anybody actually making a counterfeit, or in those days, a counterfeit plate. Although nowadays they are made only because they sell really well, because people who have old buildings love to screw them outside of the building to make it look authentic. And so you can actually buy modern replicas now, which are in plastic from museums and museum-type shops, just because they do look so attractive. But in Victorian times, I do not know of any building that actually has got a counterfeit plate. And I suppose if they had got a counterfeit plate, they wouldn't tell anybody. I'm going to tell you all my secrets now. Like, for instance, I'm outside my house now. I've got a modern house. I've got a counterfeit burglar alarm. Now, all it is, my mum and dad got a burglar alarm outside their house and it didn't work. So they spoke to the burglar alarm company and they got a second one. And which meant that they got the casing, a spare casing. So they gave me the casing, which was empty. It's got no burglar alarm inside. And I screwed it on the outside of my house. Just so that when a burglar walks past, they'll think to themselves, right, I won't burgle that house. Got a burglar alarm. And really, all it is an empty plastic casing. So I suppose if it happened in Victorian times, I suppose you could do that. You could actually make a replica and then not tell anybody and just leave on the outside of your house. Right, now, back to the game. Where has Cyberpiper got to? We'll have a game of hide and seek. Now, he's not by the fire. Oh, he's logged out. Well, it is 1:30, but so maybe his first talk has ended, and maybe he's now stopped talking, and maybe stopped showing people the game, and maybe he's just talking to them and answering questions. Although if it was me, I would stay logged in just so there's something attractive on the screen behind him as he gives the talk. Anyway, I did say to Cyberpiper I will do a few random shots of me running through the game, and what I'll do is I've got loads of shots of everybody else, but I'm going to try and find you guys up just so that you can be in a few shots as well. So when Cyberpiper, hello there, we got one. When Cyberpiper makes his compilation video of shots of YouTube, I'm going to follow you. And also he's got to have a few shots of himself as well, giving a talk, and also shots of other people playing the game. He can actually put them together and make a video. Hello there, Mr. Jacob. There we are. I'm going to follow you as well. I can see you are lagging really badly because you're running on the spot, but you're not moving. Oh, you're moving now. Lag is bad, isn't it? The thing is, this is a brilliant game. We've put a lot of work into making it such a superb game. Look at this. If I zoom out, the buildings look absolutely amazing, don't they? But the trouble is, because it's got so many parts, each of these is it's actually 4 meshes. We've got a mesh of the outside the building. We've got the mesh of the inside of the building. Let's go inside one and show you. Every single building has got an inside as well. There we are, like doors and walls. We've also got a mesh of the floor and ceiling. That's the 3rd mesh. Hello there again, Mr. Jacob. And there's a 4th mesh as well. We've also got the 4th mesh is the roof. So the roof is actually built separate from the house. So every single house you see here is made from 4 parts. Oh, by the way, if you just like boring and irrelevant facts, the fabric, the roof material is set to fabric. Now, I've set all the walls to concrete, which means that they don't shine when the light shines on them. Look there, there's no gloss. Whereas plastic things, if you find, for instance, I think the fruit are set to plastic. If you look at the fruit, when the light shines on the fruit, you get this glow because the material is plastic. The walls are set to concrete. The outside is set to concrete, and the inside is set to concrete. The floors and ceiling are set to wood, only because it's made out of wood. And strangely enough, you might say, why is this? The roof is set to fabric. That's right, it's fabric. It's actually a fabric. Now, why, might you ask? And have a guess. Any ideas why, Mr. Jacob? Why is the roof fabric and not slate? Because I could have actually set it to slate. Any ideas? I'll give you a clue as you're thinking. It's to do with the way the light shines on it. I'm going to give you a few seconds to think about that as I just cam around. I'll make sure I cam you as well in the picture so we get some nice shots that maybe might be used in the video later on. Well, I was going to do some movement. There we are. You're probably wondering why are all the roofs in this city set to fabric? It's because slate shines. Yeah, it's a shining. You're right. You knew it. That's it. The slate gives a shine when the light hits it, and fabric is the only material. That's right. The only material out of the selection that Roblox makes that does not shine when... sorry, I'm just reading at the same time. When the light shines on it. When will Cyberpiper make music again? Oh, we've got 4 instruments. We've got a piano in here that you can play. That's number 1. Over I go. Play the piano? You bet. And let's find something interesting. I'll go for the first one. We've got the piano. We've got the organ in the church. We've got a hurdy-gurdy, not a guitar, but it's a hurdy-gurdy. We've got a hurdy-gurdy up by the tower at the end of the street. We've also got a street organ. So I should say street organ. I've got what's called a glottal stop because I come from Norfolk. And I've got to be really careful. When I talk, I've got to... I'm doing it again. I've got to remember to pronounce my T's at the end of the word. Because that's the way people talk around here. When they talk, they don't pronounce their T's. And so when people talk, they say things such as, "Oh, have you got any butter for this bread?" I'm going to finish this game, so must remember to pronounce my words correctly. Ooh, what can I say about the bikes? Well, the bike is called a velocipede. Oh, clicked the wrong button there. Now, a velocipede is different from the very first bike, which was a hobby horse. The very first bike was a hobby horse. It was just basically 2 wheels that you sat upon. And what you would do is the very first bike, you would just push it along using your feet, running along with your feet, touching the ground. And this velocipede was a development where the pedal is actually built into the main wheel. Let's have a look at one and have a look see. I'm struggling because I'm getting lagged out as well here. The lag increases the longer you stay in the game. Now, can you see how the pedal is actually built? It's built into the front wheel. So you can see there's the pedal. So it hasn't got any gears, which means it's very, very difficult cycling these up and down inclines. They're okay about going along the flat, as long as you go at a steady speed. But they're very, very hard to start because you need a low gear to start. And it's very hard if you increase speed to maintain an increased speed on the velocipede because you can't change the gear. You're stuck in one gear only. So just imagine riding a bicycle where if you've got maybe, say, for instance, 3 gears, first, second, third gear, imagine riding a bicycle in 2nd gear only. Now, the front wheel here is not that much bigger, but the reason it's bigger, it's so that you get an increased speed for every revolution of the bicycle. When the wheel goes around, especially so in a penny farthing. You think of a penny farthing, the front wheel is roughly from ground level up to eye level. It's huge. A penny farthing bicycle, those old-fashioned bicycles with a big front wheel. The reason the front wheel is bigger than the rear wheel, it's because the pedal is attached to the wheel. And if you have one revolution of the wheel, a big wheel can go further and faster. So it's down to speed. It's a way of making the bicycle go, well, I keep saying bicycle, I should say velocipede. It's a way of making the velocipede go faster for every turn of the wheel because it hasn't got gears. And it wasn't until the gears were invented that we could actually build bicycles with back and front wheels the same size. And now, if you look at wheels now, on any bicycle, the front and back wheel are the same size because you can change the speed of the bicycle by changing gear. But these old-fashioned velocipedes, you couldn't change gear, and so you were basically stuck at one speed only. And so by having a slightly larger wheel, the speed at which you are stuck at using is faster. If that all makes sense. uh, Now, where is Cyberpiper? Has he gone to the spawning position? I better have something to eat and drink because I might end up dying of thirst very soon. Click on the handle. This one delivers 33 1/3% increase in thirst level. That's 33 1/3%. And click again. And so it's just below 66 2/3. So one more click, and that'll get me up to. Of course, I can't go past 100, so that'll get me up to 100% hunger level. Now, there's nothing free that you can eat, so I'll have to go to my inventory and eat something that I bought earlier on. And the meat is always a great thing to eat if you don't like clicking on the screen, because one piece of meat will give you a big replenishment in your hunger level, whereas things like the tomatoes and the garlic, they don't give much replenishment. But the only problem is you've got to click the screen more times for the meat. That's twice. That's 3 munches. Can you just hear that crunch, crunch, crunch? Like munch, munch, munch in the background. That's 4. And 5. Now, was it set to 5 clicks? No. I'll go for 6 click. Is it 6 clicks? Yep, it was 6 clicks. Okay, 6 clicks to get the meat eaten. Now, I have been online for about 45 minutes or so. I do want to log off for 2 reasons. If I log off, I can keep my lag down, because the lag tends to accumulate the longer you're online for. And what I intend to do is to log off and then do a second stream at 2:30 when Cyberpiper comes back for his second talk. And hopefully there may be a crowd of people coming again. I'm going to sneak around the back here so I can catch him out. I saw him go to the front. Hello there. Boo. Oh, you left as I crept around to scare you. There we are. What is the parish? If it's this parish here you're referring to, Favental. I find it really hard when I look at the word to try and pronounce it, because having an English background, all those consonants together, the P and the F and then a double F, I just don't know how to pronounce them. So I actually had to ask Cyberpiper, how on earth do you pronounce this? It was P-F-A-F-F-E-N-T-H-A-L, Faventile. I've been through Holland once. I took a train. I went over to the Zeebrugge. I took a tram along the coast, which apparently I've found out since then is the world's longest tram. I took a tram along the coast, and in the end, I actually ended up over at Amsterdam. But the thing I found the most difficult, the reason I'm saying this, every time the train or tram went through a town or village, it's almost like looking at alphabet soup. You know, all those letters are just jumbled up. They don't actually say anything. Well, they do to people who speak the language, but I couldn't even pronounce them. For me, it's just loads of consonants just placed randomly. I wasn't even sure how to read the words. So I found I really did struggle trying to actually read place names in Holland and Belgium. And Favental also did the same for me. When I saw the word Favental, that's it, P-F-A-F-F-E-N-T-H-A-L. To me, that's just loads of F's. I just don't know what it looks. It just looks like alphabet soup to me. It just looks like a random selection of consonants with an occasional vowel placed in. Yeah, it is hard to say, isn't it? It's even harder to spell. PF, how on earth do you pronounce a P and an F in a word? I don't think there's any word in the English language where there is a P and an F side by side. Anyway, I'm just waffling now. I'm just wasting time waffling. Oh, where you gone, Jake? Oh, there you are. Likewise, I'm going to just wander about, and I think what cyberpiper is going to do, he's going to look at my stream. He's going to select something that shows lots of people wandering about doing things. And he's going to say, I'll have that for the video. Cyberpiper has just joined. Unfortunately, there are very few ways of going back to the spawning position apart from respawning. Actually, I am actually interested in British military history. I'm also interested in Roman military history, classical battles and battle formations. And I'm also interested in overall anything to do with Victoriana, so Crimea War, Indian Mutiny, or even just domestic Victorian history. Anyway, has cyberpiper come back to do his second talk yet? Or maybe he's just going to wander about and let the crowd explore the game. And I'm trying to wander around and keep people who I see, like, for instance, Jacob and Saint Nick, in view at the same time. So cyberpiper will see the clip and think, yep, I'll have that in my talk. He'll then edit it and he'll build up a compilation of... We're both going to get to the door at the same time. He'll build a combination. Yeah, but ouch! He's going to build a combination of himself doing a talk, kids playing the game, some shots of the game, just to make an interesting video that he can use to promote the game. Yeah, you spotted actually. If you click on the cat will squeal at you. I must admit, when I do this building, I don't tell cyberpiper everything that I put in into the buildings, but I just love adding Easter eggs. And you might have realised when I placed that last butcher shop in, I told you Easter eggs I placed loads of Easter eggs all over the place. There are strange things that if you click on them or walk into them, will give you sound effects, like there's a dog that will growl at you, or there's a gun that when it gives you the badge it will explode at the same time. I just like doing strange things. Anyway, another strange thing. I've not actually told anybody this yet apart from one video. So now I'm trying strange things. There's also one little Easter egg that I've added that very few people know about unless they've hunted through all my past videos and found it up. If you want to be the general of the army, here's a little cheat. You've got to go up to the second floor of this tower. Oh, no, it's not. Actually, that's a low-spec version. In the low-spec version, if you want to be the general of the army, there's a recruitment table just here, and you jump at that position. When you get to this position just here, you jump. And when you jump at only that position, your rank becomes general. I know. I tried to add it in just as a crazy thing to do. And that's right. I put the recruitment table over in the other tower of this game, I believe. Let's quickly find it up now I'm doing this. cyberpiper is still probably just giving his talk. That's it. In the low-spec version, the guard tower is in the low-spec version of that game. And here's cyberpiper. Hello there, jumpy jump. When you get in here, you've got to go in front of the general's uniform, and you can spot it because it's got a braid tucked into the epaulets. There's the epaulets, and there's the braid tucked into the epaulets. What's that called? Is that called an agulet? I don't know what's that is. What is that called? If you stand just here and jump, your rank will become general. Now, it might have been removed in this game because Lightning Line has placed the uniforms in the GUI. There it is, just there. And you can actually get the general's uniform by buying it from the shop. Anyway, if you are visiting the low-spec version and you want to become a general and you want to start bossing people around, that's a nice little way, because I see here that St. Nick is wearing his uniform, which looks really smart. I think we might have actually disabled it here so that we can put it into the GUI. And now, if you want to put the helmet on, you've now got to use the GUI. Click on the icon of a person, remove your hat, and place on. Yeah, they beat me to it. I think what I'll do, I'll put the uniform on at the same time. Now I'm doing this, and the trousers as well. Whoops. Oh, it's a bit slow. I did click and it hasn't gone green. That's better. Now let's just see as it all... Oh, take my hat off. Try again. I thought I did click my hat, but maybe I didn't. So take the hat off and click. Now I'll just look again. No. Oh yes it has. Maybe it's lag. It must be because of lag. Agulets, that's it, agulets, yeah. I wasn't quite sure whether agulets are the cords that a cadet wears or the cords that a general or a commander wears. We've got two generals here. Hello there, General. General Jacob. The only reason I know about agulets and epaulets and agulets are because I was an ambulance officer, and I used to have a cadet group. I had to make sure the cadets were properly dressed when they were doing their inspection. And I wasn't quite sure whether the agulets were a cadet thing or whether actually for generals. Yes, Luxembourg, it was... I better get my history right here. It had a garrison of Prussian soldiers, and it was sold to the... It was going to be sold to the French because the owner, who was the Duke at that time, ran out of money. And to make money, he decided to sell Luxembourg, and nearly caused another war between France and Germany. Or Prussia, rather. France and Prussia. I don't think at that stage it was called Germany. Where's Cyberpiper got to? He's probably just walking around the city, giving his talk and showing people what the city looks like. So I'm going to sprint around and see if we can have a game of hide and seek. Now, I can't hide from you lot because you can see me. All you got to do is go and visit the stream. Oh, he's logged out, that's why. I can just see here now that Jacob is giving instructions. March. I say. I've met somebody who was born in March, but they have their birthday in April. Why? Why was somebody born in March, but they have their birthday in April? And the reason is, this person who was born in March was born in the town of March in Cambridgeshire. They were born in Cambridge in the town of March, and yet their birthday was in April. Isn't that strange? That would cause a lot of confusion. Somebody might say to you, "Oh, where were you born?" And they would say, I was born in March." But you can't. Your birthday's in April. Yeah. They were born. You got to say March with a capital M though to make it right, because obviously they were born in March in Cambridgeshire, March in Cambridgeshire. Now, there's one way of getting back to the spawning position, and that is respawn. I'm going to respawn and see, is cyberpiper at the welcome hub? No, he's not. In which case, I'm now going to confuse everybody. I'm going to stand next to this guard in the far corner. I'll say, which one's which? Oh, he's bigger than me. That's not fair. And now they'll be wondering, what on earth is happening over here? Now, I'll just set an animation. I'll set this animation. This one's cycled. This one works as a cycle. Look at this. Now, which one is which? We've got two guards here. One of them's me, and one of them is the other one. He's at the police recruitment. That must be the guard tower. But he's left. He's gone. Nope. I'll visit the Ector Tower. Here he is. And there's another guard here. Yeah, stand next to this guard here and confuse everybody so they don't know who is who. And I see cyberpiper has now left the game. He's in and out like a yo-yo. Come on, Jacob, come and join us. We got 3 in a row, 3 different guards. And a rat. I just saw a rat in the background. Where's that rat come from? How on earth did a rat come all the way from the courtyard down to... Oh, I know what's happened. Yeah, I've grown a beard. This rat here must have got caught in a teleport. There's no way that rat could have crawled all the way from the courtyard over to the very far corner of the game. Is that incredible how far that's got? Now, I'll keep my eye on the clock. I did say I'm going to log out, and I bet you're thinking to yourself, why has he not logged out yet? I'm just going to log out so that I can reset the game, so I can reduce my lag. And also I'm going to do a second live stream so that we'll have 2 live streams, one for the first talk that the cyberpiper is doing, and one for the second talk that cyberpiper is doing. So I'm going to say to you goodbye to Jacob, and goodbye to Saint Nick, and I will be back in half an hour. I will be back in 30 minutes. And also goodbye to YouTube. So, to those of you who are watching on the YouTube channel, I'm going to say, don't forget, subscribe to this channel for more news and updates from the world of 1867.